In today's video, we are going to be taking a further baby step. So we are going to use the words formation guidelines to learn new ESAN words. So today, we are going to be using a consonant and a vowel to form new words. Hello everyone, my name is Mabel and I'm known on my channel as Auntie Mabel. So if you are coming across my channel for the first time, I have twofold style of videos on my channel. Today is the day, usually Tuesday, when I do the ESAN language class. And if you don't know what ESAN language class is, so if you go down a few videos on this channel, you kind of get the gist. So ESAN is my language. It's a dialect in Nigeria that is spoken by one of the groups we call the non-majority 3. So we don't want our non-majority 3 major languages to go extinct. So hence we are trying to promote it on this channel. So, and if you're interested in all other things, on my channel I generally promote Nigerian and African languages, cultural heritage and identity. So my mission is to try to, for all of us, whatever part of Africa we come from, to try and promote our dialects and our cultural heritage and identity. So I'm sure you will learn one or two things. Even if you just watch this video, you will get one or two things that you might take away, even if you are not learning ESAN language, that you might implement in learning your own language or other aspect of your cultural heritage. So for the ESAN language students, we have been doing the words formation. So last lesson, the previous ESAN lesson I did a couple of videos back, we learned some new words using vowels and vowel. We learned few words where you have to use a vowel and a vowel. But today's video, we are going to be moving a step, taking another baby step. So we are going to be learning a consonant and a vowel. We are going to be learning new words where we will be using a consonant and a vowel. As usual, I'm going to go into Sir Odiagbe's book. Sir Odiagbe is an author. He's a gentleman who is an accountant, but who took time to research and really put a lot of work into writing ESAN language books. And he structured a book on lessons where, ideally, if you were in primary school learning ESAN language, you will have to do book 1 to 6. So we are still in his book 1. So that means we are still taking baby steps. So we could have been learning this in what we would call primary 1 in primary school in Nigeria. So here we are today. So I'm going to go into his book and show us the few new words and help us to learn some few new words. Right, I'm going to try and explain the general guidelines to us so that this lesson is also going to be helpful for those who can actually speak ESAN, but who cannot really write it very well. So pay attention for the ESAN speakers who were born and brought up in ESAN, but who want to improve their writing of ESAN. So this guideline will be helpful. So we are on lesson Ihilonya Igbe, which means 17. This lesson, Iluemi, is word for lesson. Ihilonya Igbe is the word for 17. So it means 7 on top of 10. That's what it literally means in ESAN. Those of you who, if you are new to these lessons, go and look at watch the video on numbers, so you will kind of remember. Or if you want a revision on numbers, ESAN numbers, then you go and watch my video on numbers. So then the topic we are doing today is word formation 2, and we are doing 2-letter words. So we are going to be doing a consonant and a vowel. So what he cleverly did was to put all the 7 vowels here And then we are starting today with the first consonant in the alphabet, in the Esan alphabet. And if you cannot remember the Esan alphabet, as we have also done a lesson on Esan alphabet. So we are starting with a B today. So what he did, he to put all the 7 vowels on besides letter B. So when the ones that are able to form correlating words, he put the words there. The ones that don't have correlating, don't have an Esan word, he has put he left the space there. So this is to help you if you're an Esan speaker, you want to learn to write. This should also help you. This is another way of trying to test your knowledge of how to write Esan. So I hope that makes sense. So we are going to start with the first word here, ba, which is because of, and be, which is what. For example, if you want to say bela, in Esan, bela means what is it? Yeah. Then be is to nurse. For example, if you want to tell somebody be omo wo we, so you are telling the person to nurse the baby to sleep. So then if you want to say the next word here is B, which is black, which is generally a color. Any color that is dark is usually described as a color no B. Or okay, for example, you can say onagani or B. For example, you are saying that chair is black, you know. So then bo is to build. For example, you can say obuwa, the person is building a house. Or bu, which is to move towards. For example, you can say bu mere, come to me. That is come towards me. But if you want to say, generally the word come is vai. But if you want to say the person to come towards you, it's a different letter, it's a different word entirely, which is bu mere, means come towards me. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to move to the next consonant in the letters, in the Esan letters of alphabet, the letters of the alphabet, so the next one is a D. So again, he has put the vowel alongside it. So I'm going to do, let's see if we can have all of them in one page. No, it might be a bit difficult to have. Okay, we can have all of them in one page. Okay, so those are all the 7 vowels alongside the letter D, consonant D. So that is to drink. He's used to drink wine here, but I would say to drink water. Dame, that means drink water. Ame is water. De means to fall. It means udere. For example, if you want to say you fell down, is udere. Then de is to buy. For example, rodizere means go and buy rice for me, or go and buy rice. Okay, rodizere or rodize. Rodize means go and buy rice. So de is to buy. Dip is to D is to dip, which means it's very similar to the English word actually. D is to dip. That means, for example, those days when we were children, when you used to dunk our bread inside the tea. I don't know if any of you remember that. So, for example, you can even tell the person, do you need bread with tea? You know, bread generally, we don't want one of those, it's a nice word, we just say eat bready. So, the bread with tea. So, that means they are telling you to dip the bread inside the tea, dunk inside the tea, and eat it. That's what we used to do a lot when we were children. Obviously, anyway, that's a thing for another day. Then do means, I'll just move it up a bit so that we can see it more. So do is to struggle. This one reminds me of my dad, where somebody is very incompetent in doing their task, especially a task you are expected to be able to do. He will always say, so yeah. It reminds me of my late father. So it means it's saying the person is just struggling unnecessarily there. So do is to struggle. So it means you are struggling. Do ziggy means you are just struggling unnecessarily. So it's just an expression that we always used to use to refer to my dad. Yeah. Whenever somebody is strong, we just say, as dad used to say, that person, that means that person is struggling unnecessarily. I hope that makes sense. Do is to come and. Then why? Do is to be heavily loaded. So these are some of the new words that you have learned today. I hope that help you to, especially the ESAN, those who are learning to improve their ESAN language writing skills. I hope you have learned one or two things today. Right. I hope you have been able to learn some new words, and especially for those who are trying to improve their writing of ESAN language. I hope you've been able to learn one or two skills to improve your writing skills in ESAN language. And some of the expressions and examples that I use, and please, you have to bear with me due to time constraint. I'm not going to be able to write out most of the sentences. And you should also understand, when you are learning any new language, those conversations and actually somebody speaking it, we actually, if you listen to that a few times over and over again, it's actually more beneficial than just trying to learn to write it. So probably in the future, when I have more time, it's either I'm able to bring out this video every Tuesday. If I wait to be able to have to develop it and write it write out every word, that has been part of the reason why I have not been very consistent. So I have to try and find a clever way to, or have to find a way to try and get these lessons out for now. So at least let's learn the conversations. Let's learn how to say these things, the few words, and how to say the sentences. Any one or two you can catch from there. And if you are practicing this language with either on your dad and on your mom or your partner or any other person you're practicing it with, this could be a good way of encouraging them to say, this is the example you heard me say, you practice it and speak it to that person, and see if the person feel you cannot recognize it. The person can also support you to say it a bit better. I hope that makes sense. Hopefully, maybe in the future, when I'm able to get a PA or someone to help me write out the words, then we can do a lot more. And if any of you is out there who think you can volunteer your time to be able to do the scripting on the videos or do the editing of the videos, that would be very much appreciated. So on that note, I'm going to end this lesson for today, and I will say, as usual, Wabulu, for those of you who have returned to class, despite the inconsistency and the long gap of returning to these lessons. I really do appreciate all of you. And those of you who are new to this class as well, please leave me comment. All of you, leave me comment. Just encourage me to let me know you are engaging in it, you are finding them useful, so that I can endeavor to try and keep doing them, as it's not really easy doing these lessons. And on that note, I'll say Wabulu, which is thank you in the ESAN language, and Bakimbwe class.